So Eddie Hearn says that Deontay Wilder should retire if he refuses to take the rematch against Tyson Fury. Now, I don't know what Eddie Hearn is talking about. Talking about Deontay Wilder should retire. I don't think Eddie Hearn's the one should be talking about fighters retiring after AJ lost, got knocked out by Andy Ruiz. Obviously came back in the rematch, and Dylan White just got knocked spark out by Alexander Povetkin. So to be coming out talking about Deontay Wilder should retire, I think Eddie Hearn's just trying to make some headline news, to be honest. But what is my take on these comments by Eddie Hearn? Should Deontay Wilder retire from the heavyweight division, retire from boxing because he lost to Tyson Fury after he drew and then he lost the rematch? Should he retire if he doesn't take the trilogy? Let's jump into it. So a lot of fans are saying, not even fan boxing commentators are saying that if Deontay Wilder was to not take the trilogy, he should have stipulations that he'll have to be able to fight the winner of Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury in the trilogy. And I personally believe so. I personally think he should take the trilogy. But if he doesn't take the trilogy, I believe that because he's still got a contract with Tyson Fury for the trilogy, if he can get something done, so Tyson Fury has to take on AJ, but then the winner has to automatically fight Deontay Wilder, which Eddie Hearn has previously said that he's not interested in doing something like that, talking about Deontay Wilder has to get back in the queue. But for me personally, I think that Deontay Wilder, if he does skip the trilogy, he has to get something put down on pen to paper that he actually gets to take on Tyson Fury or Anthony Joshua after their undisputed clash. For me, that's just what I think Deontay Wilder has to do. Because if he doesn't, I don't see Eddie Hearn giving Deontay Wilder opportunities anytime soon. I don't see Tyson Fury fighting Deontay Wilder again if he's to beat Deontay Wilder. If Deontay Wilder is to lose to Tyson Fury in the trilogy, or if he doesn't fight Tyson Fury and then Tyson Fury goes on to fight AJ, I don't think Tyson Fury is going to fight Deontay Wilder anytime soon after fighting him 3 times. Because knowing Tyson Fury, if something ain't commercially viable, he's most likely is not going to do it. And after fighting Wilder twice, and some fans are saying they're not really into it, seeing it the 3rd time, what is the likelihood of Tyson Fury voluntarily fighting Deontay Wilder after beating him in devastating fashion in their rematch? So for Deontay Wilder to stay in the mainframe of the heavyweight division and heavyweight boxing, I feel like Deontay Wilder needs to take that trilogy. You have a title shot right in front of you. Why would you leave the title shot to fight some other man? And then when is he going to be able to have another title shot again? The belts could get splintered off with the WBO, with Usyk and Dubois lurking in some corner. Pulev is there. All these different guys are there. Andy Ruiz is trying to work his way through the WBA. Anything can happen. Deontay Wilder could find himself in the doldrums, not having any big fights. Just staying in that PBC stable, fighting guys like Charles Martin and all these recycled guys that got knocked out before. So to me personally, it doesn't make any sense. I think Deontay Wilder should jump into the trilogy, jump in there, take on Tyson Fury. He's got that puncher's chance, that right hand. If he can rectify a few things, bringing in George Foreman and a few other people into the frame to help him, guide him into what he needs to do to defeat a Tyson Fury. Obviously, it's difficult to learn what you can do, what you need to do to beat Tyson Fury in a short space of time. But he's got a title shot right in front of him. Why would you skip that? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe that's why Eddie Hearn saying that if Deontay Wilder ducks the trilogy, then he should retire. Because would AJ take the trilogy? I think Anthony Joshua would take the trilogy. Eddie Hearn's basically trying to get at that. If Deontay Wilder's not taking the trilogy, does he still have the heart to be a champion? Does he still have the heart to want to win? What is the reasoning why he wouldn't want to take his opportunity, to potentially become the WBC and Ring Magazine champion and right the wrongs? Because for me, someone like Deontay Wilder with his bronze bomber persona, with that ego that he seems to have, for Deontay Wilder to not take the trilogy, the only thing that I can foresee that will make him not want to take the trilogy is some bad injury where he knows he will not be ready to fight Tyson Fury at peak condition. That's the only thing I can see. And obviously, he has really been nursing the injury. I think, what's this, a right arm or something? I can't remember now. He's been nursing the injury. So if at all he doesn't take the trilogy, I think that would be the only reason I can legitimately give him. But anything apart from that, I don't see Deontay Wilder not taking the trilogy. He's already been talking. People, Shelley Finkel, people from his camp are already talking about they're going to take trilogy. So obviously a lot of speculations buzzing around because no one's heard from Deontay Wilder. We haven't seen him on any talking to him live from his home on PBC or anything. He's rarely posting on social media these days, and if he is posting, it's got nothing to do with boxing. So maybe he's hunkering down and looking into himself and trying to figure out what he wants to do to actually go on to defeat a Tyson Fury. Maybe he's thinking, this time I need to just keep quiet, focus on myself, get in training, listen to the correct voices and stop messing around talking too much. Because sometimes these guys, look at Povetkin. No, rarely talking. Dylan White doesn't want to shake his hand or anything. He's not even looking too great. He did all right, but he didn't look, he getting knocked down twice against Dylan White. Silently went in there and knocked him out, Dylan White, in devastating fashion. So maybe Deontay Wilder's taking a leaf out of, obviously he's not taking, I don't think he's literally taking a leaf out of Povetkin, but he's tapping into that quiet man going to come in there and do something devastating, semantics. Maybe that's what Deontay Wilder's looking to do. Just knuckle down, go in there, beat Tyson Fury, come unawares. Tyson Fury has to play on people's mindset. Has to play mind games. He's not going to allow Tyson Fury to do that. He's probably listening to the likes of George Foreman, who's giving him advice behind the scenes. George Foreman's already told Wilder he should view the trilogy not like he's trying to recover his belts, but if you view it as like a vacant title, just to get his mindset, not thinking too much about what happened in the rematch, but to get the mindset that, listen, I'm here to pick up the WBC Ring magazine. It's a vacant title. Forget what happened. I'm here to win in devastating fashion with a big, devastating right hand. And that's probably the mentality he's going to have to come in with. He's going to have to come in there with a game plan that's going to be suitable to defeat Tyson Fury. Not right hand happy. He's going to have to do the right things, and hopefully his team potentially could come up with a game plan that's going to help him get his WBC and Ring magazine. And then potentially we could see Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder for undisputed heavyweight champion. But Eddie Hearn saying that Deontay Wilder should retire if he doesn't take the trilogy. I just think it depends. If he didn't take the trilogy for injury reasons, which he's currently recovering from an injury, I believe, then that is more legit than he's just not taking the trilogy for the sake of not taking it. And even if he didn't take it for the sake of not taking it, I still don't think he should retire. I think that's just play on words by Eddie Hearn. I think it would be out of character for Wilder to not take the trilogy. But if he didn't, and it wasn't because of an injury, I think it would probably be a strategic move to, get his confidence back. And at the same time, if he didn't take the trilogy, he has to get a stipulation that he gets to fight the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. So drop your comments in the comment section below. What do you think about my comments? What do you think about Eddie Hearn saying that Deontay Wilder should retire from heavyweight boxing, retire from boxing if he doesn't take the trilogy? Do you guys think he should retire? Drop your comments again. Like, subscribe, share this video. Drop your comments again. Join the KBV boxing community. KO boxing vibe. Join the community. Drop your comments again. Cool.